Class 12th, Subject Physics, 16th chapter, Semiconductor Devices. From the chapter, let us see the solar cell, or it is also called as photovoltaic cell. Solar cell or photovoltaic cell. So solar cell or photovoltaic cell is a electronic device which converts solar energy into electrical energy. Solar cell or photovoltaic cell is a electronic device which converts solar energy into electrical energy. Now let us see the structure of solar cell and its working. So from this diagram it is seen that this region will act as the emitter, which is acting as N side. Then to that emitter a front contact at the top will be connected. Then there will be anti-reflecting coating, so this will represent the anti-reflecting coating here. Then sunlight will be allowed to fall on this depletion region. Then a load resistance RL will be connected between this front contact and this rear contact, so this will act as the rear contact. So between this rear contact, that is back contact, and the top contact, that is front contact, a load resistance RL will be connected here. So in this depletion region, due to this sunlight, the electron hole pairs will be generated. Then electrons will be attracted towards this front contact and the holes will be attracted towards this rear contact. And therefore, if you consider the construction of this solar cell, then we can say that it consists of a p-n junction. Then the N side of the p-n junction faces to the sun radiation, that is sun radiations are allowed, sunlight is allowed to fall on the N side, that is emitter of this p-n junction. Then the p side is relatively thick and it is at the back of the solar cell. The p side is acting as the base, so p side is acting as the base and it is relatively thick, that is as compared with the N side or emitter, it is thick and it is at the back of the solar cell. Both p side and N side are coated with conducting material. Then the N side is coated with the anti-reflecting coating. This N side will be coated with the anti-reflecting coating. So anti-reflecting coating will cover that N side, which allows the visible light to pass through it. So visible light will be allowed to pass through that anti-reflecting coating, and this coating reflects infrared, that is heat producing rays or radiations, to protect the solar cell from heating. So this anti-reflecting coating will reflect the infrared radiations, which are the heat producing radiations, so that the solar cell will be protected from heating. Then the contact on N side is called as the front contact, and that on the P side is called as back contact or rear contact. So these two contacts will be there. This on the N side, that contact is called as front contact, and on the p side it will be called as rear contact or back contact. Now let us see the working of the solar cell. So how that solar cell will work, let us see its working. So step by step its working will be explained. So when light is incident on the solar cell, when sunlight is incident on the solar cell, at that time some of the steps will be followed in the working of this solar cell. So when that light is incident on the solar cell, at that time electron hole pairs are generated in the depletion region of the p-n junction, that is photo generated carriers will be created in the depletion region. So as soon as the sunlight is incident on this depletion region, at that time the photo generated carriers, that is electron hole pairs, will be created in the depletion region. Then the electrons and holes are separated and collected at the cathode and anode respectively. So electrons and holes will get separated and they will be collected by the cathode and anode respectively. So these electrons will be collected by this cathode and the holes will be collected by this anode respectively. Then after that, the carriers, that is holes and electrons, are accumulated and generate a voltage across the solar cell. Then the voltage will be created across the solar cell due to these carriers, and the power produced in this process is thus utilized. It will be dissipated in the load resistance or in the circuit connected across the solar cell. So due to the accumulation of these charge carriers, the power which is generated in this solar cell will be now dissipated, will be utilized then by this load resistance RL or any external circuit connected across this solar cell. Then if we consider the working of this solar cell, the light generated electrons reach in n-type region and the light generated holes reach p-type region. So due to the light, the electrons which are generated will reach to n region, that is emitter, and the light generated holes will reach to p side region. When the solar cell is connected to any external circuit, the light generated carriers flow through the external circuit. It will flow through the external circuit, and therefore now if we plot the IV characteristics of the solar cell, IV characteristics of the solar cell, then the IV characteristics of the solar cell are as shown in this figure. So in this figure, the current will be plotted along y-axis and the voltage will be plotted along x-axis. So in this case, current is plotted, that is PV current, that is photovoltaic current, is plotted along y-axis, and this voltage is plotted along x-axis. At that time, the nature of the graph is as shown here. So at this point, it will represent the short circuit current. So it will be the short circuit current, that is when that load resistance is short circuited, at that time maximum current, that is ISC, that is short circuit current, will be produced here. But at that time the voltage is equal to 0 and current is maximum, and therefore the power at this point will be equal to 0, since power P is equal to V into I, and here V is equal to 0, I is maximum, but power will be equal to 0. Similarly, at this last point, voltage is maximum but the current is equal to 0, and that point will be the open circuit voltage, that is VOC. So when the load is open circuit, at that time the current will be 0 and voltage will be maximum. Again here at this point power will be equal to 0. But if you consider a point on this graph at which current is maximum, voltage is also maximum, at that point maximum power point we will get at this position. So for this point, current is maximum, voltage is maximum, and therefore power will be maximum. So in this way we can say that when the load is short circuited, as well as it is open, for both these positions the power delivered to the load will be equal to 0. So this will represent IV characteristics of this solar cell or photovoltaic cell. Now, while preparing that solar cell, some criteria must be used for the selection of the material of the solar cell. So while preparing the solar cell, the selection criteria must be used, and therefore let us see the selection criteria of the material of the solar cell. That means which type of material must be used in order to prepare that solar cell. For that purpose, some criteria must be used there, and it will be explained as follows. First one, the material will be used such that its band gap should be between 1 electron volt to 1.8 electron volt. The band gap energy of the material must be between 1 electron volt to 1.8 electron volt. Second, the material should have high optical absorption. Optical absorption, that is light must be absorbed to a greater extent, and so that we can say that the material should have high optical absorption. Third, the material should have good electrical conductivity. The electrical conductivity of that material should be good. Similarly, fourth one, the material should be easily available. The material should be easily available. So these are some of the criteria for selection of the material of the solar cell. Then let us see some of the advantages of this solar cell. What are the advantages of this solar cell? First one, solar cells do not produce the pollution. It is free from pollution. No pollution will be created as it is using sunlight, and therefore the solar cells do not produce pollution. Second, solar cells require less maintenance. So less maintenance is required by the solar cells, and therefore they have longer life. So these are the two advantages of the solar cells. Now, though it is having some of the advantages, it will be having some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of the solar cell? So first one, they have higher cost of installation. So while installing the solar cells, its cost will be very high, and therefore they are costly. Second one, their efficiency is low as compared with the other PN junctions. So solar cells are having low efficiency. These are the disadvantages of this solar cell. And now let us see the applications of solar cell. So solar cells are widely used in domestic purposes as well as in industries. The various applications of the solar cells are there. First one, Solar cells are used for charging the batteries during daytime. So during daytime, the solar cells are used for the charging of batteries, so that during night time these batteries can be used as the source of power. Second, they are used at the remote areas to supply power. So in remote areas, sunlight will be proper and therefore it will be used to supply the power at the remote areas. Third one, they are used to supply power to the calculators. So calculators will be operated on these solar cells. Fourth one, they are used to supply power to the satellites and space stations. So the satellites and the space stations will get power supplied by these solar cells. Fifth, they are used to supply power to the traffic signals. So traffic signals can be operated with the help of these solar cells. Similarly, solar cells are used in lux meter, which is used to measure the intensity of light. So lux meter uses the solar cells which measures the intensity of light. So these are some of the applications of solar cells.